downsides of being a commuter are living off campus, separates you from some of the people that you may know on campus. Like, I have a lot of friends here on campus, and it's hard to get to them, even though I live like literally across the street from the church.
The downsides to being a commuter is it's a challenge to become integrated in the community here at MNU because you're not as informed, you're not as involved, you're coming and going a lot more, you're not living amongst your fellow students here. So I feel like, based on personality type, it might get harder to make friends and get to know people here. Plus, there's just a ridiculous amount of rules.
What do I dislike about being a commuter? I think there might be several things here. First of all, I spent the first 4 years on campus developing a lot of relationships. So there are a lot of people that I really care about on campus and a really social person. But then this year comes and I have to start commuting, live off campus and everything. And not that those relationships aren't exactly still there, but they're not as nurtured because I'm not around.
What I dislike about being a commuter, I would say just being out of campus most of the time, kind of having to drive back and forth, and not being in the group of people that are starting up an event or starting up something they want to do. Instead, I'm usually the guy that either gets the text, and it's more of a kind of putting a plan for myself to get back to campus, I would say. So.
I don't know if I feel like I don't have a say in things that go on campus because I've never really took a big interest in it, and I've only just become a commuter like the past couple semesters. So it's a toss-up for me. I'm not really sure if commuters have a voice or not.
As a commuter, I don't think that we're a resource that's really tapped into a lot. I think, generally speaking, the broad sweep is that you communicate with the students that live here in the dorms. I don't know if it's because they're paying more to live in the dorms. I don't think that there's an overwhelmingly powerful number of us commuters, so we're a smaller community, but I do think if we decided to rally together for some cause that we could be a force to be reckoned with.
I don't think I have a say in what goes on around campus. I think before, I want to be careful about how I say this, but I feel like before I kind of had more of an influence, or at least more of an input, because, everybody did know me.
I feel like I do have a voice, but it's kind of more like, do I want to participate in being part of that voice usually? Like, I see it happening, but it's kind of just back and forth.
There's some definite upsides to being a commuter. Not as many rules, not as many, there's definitely no curfew for me, so I can stay out at all hours of the night if I wanted to. Not that I do, but if I wanted to, I could.
Upsides to being a commuter are personal freedom. You have more time, you have more peace, you don't have as much of a rowdy experience.
Upsides to being a commuter. Your own bathroom, okay? One of the things I hated about living on campus was the condition of our bathroom. That doesn't even have anything to do with like our custodial staff or anything. That's just the other students. People go in and just wreck the bathroom purposely to mess with other people, and that sucks.
Upsides, I would say a little bit more freedom. You're kind of, like usually I love being around people, but there's a certain relief about sometimes just being by yourself, making your own plans, and also having your own area or your own place sometimes. Instead of just being on campus, there's a lot more rules to living on